You're watching Morning at NTV.
Hello there, good morning. Welcome to Morning at NTV. My name is Malaki Vilodera. It is December. Yes, the month, the year is coming to an end. And so December 1st, the entire world marked the World AIDS Day. And that makes December HIV and AIDS Awareness Month. So that will be the conversation today. And so we chose to demystify everything that you've been told about the testing and the testing process of HIV and AIDS. And so in studios, we're going to do it practically on Kickstarter this morning. And so I'm joined by Dr. Elliot Cherop. He is from Alive Medical Services. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. And I think it will be a good discussion for us to lay the myths and the fears about HIV testing.
Thank you. Thank you. Next to him is Sauda Chiganda. She is a lab technologist at Alive Medical Services. She's the one who's going to be pricking me this morning. So let's start right away. Sauda, you can be doing the, the preparations as we have a conversation with Doctor. So Doctor, let's talk about HIV and AIDS. And let's now be as real as possible.
Exactly.
At Alive Medical Services, how many people do you get to test on a day-to-day basis on HIV?
First, starting with the national statistics. For starters, we have 1.4 million people living with HIV in Uganda.
Right.
But of course, where our focus is for this year's theme, which is knowing your status, is we want those that are undiagnosed with HIV to know their status. Mm-hmm. So we have about 300,000 people out there who don't know their status. So in the fight against HIV, yes, the government is doing all it is to make sure that everyone gets to know their status, mm-hmm. but also we have a number of people out there who don't know their status. That's why this year theme is very easy, it is very simple, it's something that we all need to adapt and get to, is we need to know our status. And it's a very simple process.
It is a very simple process, like you will see, Sauda. I'm lucky I don't fear needles so much, but already I'm seeing you in your gloves, so you can actually proceed. So what's the next step?
So before actually we do take your blood sample, we take you through a process of counseling. Okay. We want to make you aware of what it means to have a positive result, what it means to have a negative result, and what comes after that. So that's what we call the pre-test counseling. Mm-hmm. So that is one of the things that we do at Alive Medical Services to allay someone's fears actually about what results they're going to have. Right. And following that, they can simply have a test, and then after we can give them the results. Okay. So at the end of it all, you're going to have three results. You can have a negative result, which means you don't have the HIV. You can have a positive result, which means you have HIV, the virus. And also you can have an inconclusive result where you're either positive or negative.
That's possible?
Very possible.
Okay, so I think because of time, Sauda will start off as you explain to me how it's possible for someone to be, you said you can have it or not. You can be at the middle there.
Yes.
All right. Yes. So as Sauda proceeds with the process, so thankfully we already started with consultation, so you can continue to elaborate that. How can someone be at the middle? When it comes to HIV and AIDS, I thought you're either negative or positive. Exactly.
So it is possible that Sauda can do her test very well, take her sample, put her reagents, and at the end of it all, she may not comfortably and adequately tell you that you're positive or negative. This is because of the steps that we use to actually do the HIV testing. So what do we do in case we have an inconclusive test result? What we do is we give you that result, tell you that we have not been able to actually conclusively tell you whether you're positive or negative, and then following that, we'll ask you to come after 14 days.
14 days.
Yes, so when you come back to us after 14 days, we do a repeat test. So we have a national algorithm that we follow to actually do the HIV testing that is nationally used in all of Uganda. Okay. So once we use that, and again after 14 days, we realize that you still have an inconclusive test result, definitely we take off another sample of your blood, and then we send it to a central government laboratory called CPHL, where we do now the DNA PCR testing.
All right. Okay. So Sauda, kindly proceed in the interest of time. So
So are you okay? Do you fear that?
No. I'm very comfortable.
Okay.
But of course, I can close my eyes.
Okay.
It is well.
It is well
so
indeed.
what do? I'm tying.
Okay.
So that the veins can be clear. Then I'll ask you to make a fist.
So what are those?
This is a disinfectant. It's an alcohol wipe. Then, gosh, I prepared this beforehand. So I'll ask you to put your arm there.
Okay.
So that you are calm. You don't move your arm.
Yes.
Yes, the prick won't be so bad. It looks ugly, but it won't be so bad. And I usually ask people to meditate on their best song or their best moment while I'm doing this. So there is less concentration on my needle. And it's done.
Oh,
yes.
Brilliant.
So
that was just 1 second. All right. So we press
this.
All right.
Yeah, so now I have the sample and I have to confirm your name before I write it here.
That was so neat and clean. I've gone through these processes, and for some reason, some technicians just are very rough, so you end up having blood spills on yourself. But this is so neat and clean, guys.
Thank you.
Good.
Yeah, yeah.
So, of course, as we go through this whole process, Sauda is now going to do the testing.
All right.
To make sure and we can come up with the result.
All right.
But also at this time, I want to use the opportunity to say that now the government is now rolling out what we call HIV self-testing, where we are going to be actually doing this test, but at your convenience.
Brilliant.
That means you can do it at home, you can do it at workplace.
All right.
So we want to make it easy for you to actually know your status.
Okay.
Where
so Sauda wants my name? Yep. Okay, M-A-L-A-A.
Double A.
Yes.
Okay.
Mala.
With D?
It's all right. Without a D. Yeah, okay. Mala. Yeah.
So we usually label with a date.
Okay. So it's the 3rd of December.
Yeah. And with the time only that I don't have a clock here.
It's all right.
Yes.
There's one here. We can use this. 7:10.
Yeah. This is for quality purposes.
Okay.
Yes. So
so
you can chat on.
Okay. So doctor.
yes, Mala.
Wow. So you're saying that after 14 days, once these tests are out and you're either not negative, no positive, then after 14 days you go back. But tell us today, I know medics actually advise for people, especially couples or them that are sexually active, to go for these tests, time and again. So what's the gap in between? How often should I be tested as a sexually active person, for example?
That's a very good question because we need to know the frequency in which. So the government has guided us in a way that you're supposed to be doing an annual HIV test result. Okay, test. So, but of course, if somebody has a high risk, what do you mean high risk? Somebody is exposed to HIV quite a number of times. We talk of people who are excessively sexually active. We talk of people who are key populations. Those are the most at-risk populations. We encourage them that they be doing the test every 3 months. For example, also the pregnant mothers, we encourage them to be doing the test every 3 months. Of course, we are trying to make sure that as we take care of the mother, we also don't want a child born to HIV. So in case we come across a mother that is in early pregnancy, we're able to intervene by starting them on ARVs as early as possible so that we can be able to make sure that the child does not get HIV. So yes, it is true that the frequency of doing the HIV testing differs from one category to other, depending on how much risk there is to HIV. Oh,
interesting. And so once a year is good enough?
Once a year for somebody who is, let me say, a married couple.
In a trustworthy kind of relationship.
Yes, yeah, faithful couple.
Yes.
I would say once a year is just very adequate.
All right.
But I mean, if your risk is high, for example, you're a sexual worker, you need to do a testing every 3 months.
Okay. Yeah, Doctor, just let us in. And of course, Sauda now is, what is this, Sauda? What have you done now?
Oh, okay. Explanation.
Yes.
Yes, so when I took the blood, I had to label it, and I had to label the strip we use. So with your name, so I don't mix up.
Right.
So I put the blood, a drop of your blood on the strip, and then this is called a chest buffer to help the sample run through the strip. And then we give it 15 minutes to allow for reaction.
Okay.
15 to 45 minutes to allow for the reaction to occur.
Right. Okay. So this is going to, be settled for 15, 45 minutes,
yes,
so we get the results?
Yes, not
okay.
disturbance.
So it's not instant?
No, 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 no.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
Doctor, just let us in on this one. I know the Ministry of Health is actually rolling out this particular kits where, like you said, you can do your testing at the comfort of your home. But where is this coming from? Because I know, I don't know how the uptake will be, but people are scared.
Yes.
If I'm at home, if I go buy this kit, do the testing, I've not gone through the pre-counseling stage, so I don't know what to expect. So where is this coming from? Just get us to understand that. And how people can handle that well, so that you don't have people committing suicide after getting the results at home.
Yes, yes, yes. So the background of rolling out the HIV self-testing is this, that yes, we have had the accepted algorithm for testing in Uganda for a long time. But why is it that still after that long time, we still have people who are undiagnosed with HIV? And some of the reasons that have come into play is, one, we have a category of us who say we are so busy. For example, the men, I want to talk about the men. They have what we call poor health-seeking behavior. So for them to actually leave their workplace or whatever business they're doing to just go for an HIV test, they see it is a lot of what? A lot of work. So the government has thought it in line that why can't we make it easy? You walk to a pharmacy, accredited pharmacy, you buy your kit and you go home and do your testing. But of course, you see, before you actually use that kit, it has also its own precautions. And what is very peculiar about that kit is we don't actually use blood. So for some of us who actually fear needles, fear pricks, fear blood, this time we are not using blood. So we are just using the upper gum of your teeth. You just swipe the upper gum of your teeth and the lower gum of your teeth, and you leave it there to react for about 20 minutes, and you have your result. So that is something that is to ignite you and say, oh, actually it has reacted, but I need to go and confirm. That's when you may come to Alive Medical Services, where we shall now do the other algorithm and then either confirm you to be either negative or positive.
Let me ask you a question, doctor. So when I'm going to the pharmacy, accredited pharmacy, to purchase this particular kit, will they take me through counseling, or it's just business at the end of the day? For them, they want my money and that's it. Will they take me through a counseling, pre-counseling, you know, kind of session?
Of course, like for example, this kit right now is being tried in a few health facilities in Kampala. So it hasn't yet actually been rolled out that everyone can actually have it. But what is going to be very key is we are going to have an important message for all of us in Uganda. What the government is going to do is going to actually take us through a session of education messages on how we are going to be doing this. We are going to be doing a lot of public counseling for the population to make sure that, oh, what will you do when you find out that this has reacted? What is your next step? Oh, this has actually come out in your favor, or you're actually negative. What is your next step? Of course, the other very important thing to mention is when you get your negative result, it's like you have a reassurance in you that, oh, after all this while, I'm actually negative. I need to take care of myself. That's when prevention actually comes into key. So we want that even as we look out for those positives out there, we want also the negatives to remain negative. Why should anyone convert to being positive in this age and era? So that is where the focus is, also prevention.
And the other thing is the pharmacy people will be told, they'll be trained. They know what to do. Before they give you the kit, they'll have to assess your stability and then give a brief information, background information. So that by the time you go, they are comfortable, they are not sending out a suicide case. Right,
because that's very important. And so now I'm seeing the results coming through, but it's too soon yet. So doctor, let us in on this one. You said that for the testing kits, you don't have to prick yourself. You don't need a blood sample to get the results. It's about the gums. But someone would say that even when you know, I'm going for normal testing for bacterial infection, they take off my blood because the blood is the true deal. So with the gum bit, just explain to us how accurate will that test be? What's the science behind that?
I want to say it is 99.9% sensitive and specific for HIV. So what it does is it stops the cells on your gum. Okay? So we are not using saliva, and it's very important for us to take note of that. We are using the cells on the gum. So as you strap using that strapper, you're getting out the mucosa cells or the cells that line the gum. And that's where we're actually looking out for the HIV.
Will I be left with bruises? Is
No.
it painful?
No.
So if it's not painful, doctor, let me ask you a question.
Yes,
and this
ma'am.
many young people need to get right. If today, for example, it's morning, so let's not be so, you know, bare and, you know, kind of very elaborate about this. But if I have a HIV positive sexual partner and I'm negative, meaning that when we have oral engagements, then I'm at risk of getting HIV and AIDS. If then the testing is just about the gum cells, then if we get oral, does it mean that I'll get, you know, the virus?
Okay. So I also need to correct that to say that as, for example, we are doing the oral engagement, it's mainly exchange of saliva.
Right.
Okay. And it has also been found that the disposition of HIV in saliva is almost negligible. Okay. You actually need ideally 5 to 10 liters of saliva for you even to have a copy of what? Of the HIV strand in it. That's why we have not said oral engagement is one of the ways in which you can actually get HIV.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
So, but this time round, of course, once we go to the gum, as you strap, it's not that you're actually using a lot of energy and force. The cells on the gum are actually loose. They can easily get off, and that's what we
I get you. Sauda, so tell us how we're faring here.
We still have time.
We still have time. So it
We
shows.
shall not preempt. That's the anxiety that happens in the houses. That's why it's preferable to be done at the facility. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, guys, unfortunately, you're not so lucky. You not get to know my status. But as we come to a close, doctor, how do we talk? How would you advise discordant couples, couples who you know, we love each other. I know that my partner, for example, is positive. I'm negative. How do we get to that point whereby we can actually get children? We can actually live healthy, and the negative spouse doesn't get infected?
Okay. Yeah, that's a very good question. One, HIV is supposed to be non-discriminatory, meaning that I can have a healthy relationship if I'm positive with a negative partner. And that's what we're actually pushing out for. Because in the area of HIV, why I'm supposed to have the HIV, you'll be negative, and you have a healthy relationship.
Right.
And we can also have healthy babies. So that's where it comes in handy, what we call the elimination of mother-to-child transmission. No child in this age and era should actually be transmitted. But what does it call for in a discordant relationship? It calls for, number one, me who is on drugs, ARVs, I should be adherent to my drugs. Means I'm not supposed to miss them. I should take them every day. Number two is, once my viral load is taken, viral load is a measure to see how you're actually responding to treatment. Is your viral load suppressed, in other words, almost coming to zero, or it is still multiplying in blood? Somebody who is on treatment, we expect the viral load to be suppressed. So once my viral load is suppressed, the chances of me actually transmitting any viral copies to you are actually minimal.
Brilliant.
But what is also encouraged between us, we encourage us that we should have, we should use protection or condoms, so that in case, for example, I'm still taking my drugs, my viral load is not yet suppressed, I'm not having any chance of actually transmitting.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. Because many didn't know that. We always think that, hey, them that are positive, just keep off. It doesn't matter. So you can actually get into a healthy relationship with someone who's positive and you're negative.
Exactly.
And still live a healthy life.
And have a healthy life.
There's been scientists who have been, conducting research and tests, just to try and find cure for HIV and AIDS. In your opinion as a doctor, and also Sauda, I'll let you in on this one. Will we ever get to that point where there's actually cure for HIV and AIDS?
I want to say there's been significant progress.
Right.
5 years ago, you would be taking about 3 pills for ARVs. Now, in this age and era, you only take one pill. And of course, of recent, we should have seen it run in the tabloids that actually Uganda is doing a trial on an injectable, where you can have that injection, say once in 1 month or once in 3 months. So I want to say that there is significant improvement and there is hope that we shall actually get there.
There's hope, so you're positive.
Yes.
Sauda, are you positive as well?
Yes.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, so as you come to a close, just recap the process, what people should be expecting once they step into a health center in terms of them wanting to get tested for HIV and AIDS. Just recap the process. And if they miss out on just one process, they need to cause it. So recap that for us so we just note that down.
Yes, as we wind up, it is simple. You get to a health facility. You ask for where would, for example, Live Medical Services, you come in, where we shall ask, you ask where I want to do my HIV testing. Of course, we shall show you where the counselors are. We believe that you need to speak to a counselor to actually know your status, because so many people have a lot of worries and myths surrounding HIV, so which we need to allay and to make them comfortable that yes, whatever result that you're going to have, you're still with us, and we shall still take care of you. So there's a bit of consent. We need to reassure you of confidentiality, that whatever result that you're going to have is between you and us, the healthcare provider. No one else is going to take that. And of course, after reassuring you of confidentiality and allaying any of the fears, we take you to we write for you a request form, and then you can go to the laboratory. So after going to the laboratory, where you meet a lovely Sauda, she will do what she has done best, do the testing, and then after, the result will be sent back to the counselor. So once the result is back to us, definitely I'll call you back in to my room, where I'm supposed to relay these results to you. Of course, I'll begin by telling you that, and this result we are going to have, either way, whether you're positive or negative, there is always a solution.
Right.
Yes. And of course, for somebody who is negative, we reassure them that they should remain negative. And now we encourage the prevention methods. If you must, use a condom. If you're in a relationship, you need to be faithful. But if at all you have a positive result, then now we tell you about this bit of, we have the drugs that are life-saving.
Okay.
Yes.
Are these drugs free?
Yes. These drugs are
ARVs.
actually supposed to be free for charge. There's no facility in Uganda which should be selling ARVs.
Are they dispensed off private institutions as well?
Yes.
Health clinics? Okay.
Yes, they're actually dispensed off.
And the test is free as well.
And the test is free as well.
Yes.
Key to note. So guys, you don't have an excuse as to why you shouldn't go for, HIV and AIDS testing. So thank you so much, Dr. Elliot Chepterop and also Sauda Chiganda from Alive Medical Services. My test results are still, they're not still ready. They're not
Still
yet ready. Still in the process. So in case you get to a health center and they tell you your results are out in 10 minutes, that's a red flag, right? It's not possible for results to be ready in 10 minutes.
No.
So it's 15 to 45 minutes max.
Exactly.
All right, okay. And, the technician has to have gloves on, fresh gloves, right? So guys, don't accept to be attended on with someone who doesn't have gloves on. Very important. So that has been the conversation. You're still on the hashtag Morning at 10 TV. That's on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube pages. Be sure to be part of this conversation. Morning at 10 TV still continues. Up next is Andrew Chamagero with Reality on the Ground. Keep it here.